Hey, Mr. B.
Hey!
Nice to have you back in the office finally.
Oh, it is good to be back after all the traveling.
Good. I want to talk to you about the new statement of changes on the 24th of June.
I was reading that as well. Go on.
I know we made a longer video about it, but we didn't really speak about this topic. So they also said that somebody who had been a dependent on a point-based system or work visa can no longer switch to a spouse visa. This seems to be a pretty big deal. What do you think?
It is a pretty big deal. What they're trying to do, and this is part of the same kind of movement where they're trying to restrict people who are coming as dependents, people who are coming as skilled workers to the UK or as students. So this is all part of the same drive. What they have said now is that, first of all, if you all the viewers who follow us so regularly and who are interested in the topic, they would remember that students and skilled worker visas, there were a lot of changes with them. So there were things about a student who hasn't completed the course will not be able to switch to a skilled worker visa. Then there were things about some skilled workers could not bring their dependents with them. Students cannot bring their dependents with them unless they are on some research-based courses. So all those things are designed to limit the dependence and limit the abuse of the system. Unfortunately, a lot of this has been brought about by the immigrants themselves, because when they listen to little money scrounging agents here and there who are just trying to make money by misleading people or by misleading the Home Office, then these kind of things happen. Now let me read this out to you. This is paragraph 284. This is in the immigration rules, chapter changes to part 8. The requirements for an extension of stay. So it doesn't say a switching of a visa, but says the requirements for an extension of stay as the spouse or civil partner of a person present and settled in the United Kingdom are that, and then number 1 goes on and it has 3 further sections to it, and C is important because this is the new one. So 284 1C I'm reading. The leave was not as the spouse, civil partner, unmarried or same-sex partner of a relevant points-based system migrant or Appendix W worker. So this is important because what it's saying is that if you came as a dependent of a student, any points-based system person, which could be students, which could be skilled workers, or anything else that requires a points-based. So if you came as the dependent of a skilled worker, for example, and now you want to switch on to becoming the spouse of a person present and settled in the UK, you are not able to do so. And why is that? Because they understand that a lot of times people have come here and they have come on relationships which may not have been genuine, or relationships which have subsequently broken down. And instead of going back, they try to find other ways of staying in the UK. So this is supposedly designed to curtail all of that. Just like what changes were brought in last year, this is not the end of it. This does not mean that you cannot marry a person present, settled in the UK and get status. The only difference it makes is you need to go back to your country and apply from there. Because the way the wording is, the requirements for an extension of stay as the spouse or civil partner of a person present and settled in the UK, that shows you that you have status already. So from legal status, you are applying for an extension of stay and you want to go as a spouse of a person present settled in the UK. If that is the case, then if you were a dependent of somebody else before, they expect you now to go back to your country and apply from your country of origin, rather than trying to switch your status from within the UK. The other thing also very relevant to this is for those people who are married. If you're not married and you're unmarried partners, then this is paragraph 295D. Now look at that. Requirements to be met by a person seeking leave to remain as the unmarried or same-sex partner of a person present settled in the UK are, and blah blah blah, and it goes on to say exactly the same thing. The leave was granted as the unmarried or same-sex partner of a relevant points-based system migrant or Appendix W worker. If that is how your leave was granted as a unmarried partner, and now you want to move on to an unmarried partner of somebody else, then that is what this is trying to stop. Now, these things are by no means clear. I have read it 2 or 3 times. I do not see the clarity in this, and unfortunately, this is always the problem when the drafting is not very well done. I think this needs a further clarification, and I'm sure the courts will be coming in and there will be explanatory statements or changes that will come about that will clarify this. But for now, it seems on the first look that if you are in the UK as the dependent of a points-based system or a worker, and then you want to get married and switch your status to stay here as the spouse of a person present and settled, which is British national or ILR holder, then this is being stopped by these rules. So this is what I wanted to talk about in this matter.
Well, Mr. V, like I said, and I'm sure our viewers could agree, it's lovely to have you back and give everyone these amazing insights. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is good to be back. So let's start doing these regularly again.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.